Part 2, Model Specification Consideration, Section of the FFA, authorizing official agency, regional chief, and designator of deviations of emergency recall orders. Emergency recall orders can be issued in PHMSA. Section 4 of this part, PHMSA, procedures for issuing an emergency recall order. Section 2, the Federal Motor Carrier Service Administration, authorizing official agent, regional chief of designee, deviation, emergency, section 2, deviations, emergency recall orders. Emergency recall order only be issued by the PHMSA. Section 4 of this part of the PHMM procedure for the issuing of the emergency recall for the order. Alright, the section 3 is the FRA, the authorizing official agent, regional chief of the designated deviation. Emergency recall orders. Emergency recall order can only be issued by the PHMSA. See section 4, part of the PHMSA procedures for the issuing the emergency recall. Section 4, PHMSA, authorizing official agency, regional chief of the designated deviation, emergency recall order. Section 43431, in general, the associated administrator hazardous material safety may issue an emergency ordering mandating an immediate recall for the packaging component, container certified, represented, marked, or solid, or is qualified as sold as qualified as used in transportation hazardous material in commerce when they continued with such an item that would constitute imminent hazard. The Office of Authority requesting the emergency recall order the designated primary legal technical point of contact to assist the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration in preparing order and in subsequent or appeal to the order. Key points to remember: the emergency order and emergency recall order are, depending on the type of the packaging involved with the hazard material, the degree of the hazard, extension of the distribution of the recall order shall extend to the appropriate level in the distribution chain. The consumer, user, retail, and wholesale alert the public of the recall with the conditions could warrant, perform effective checklists in the containing of the parties with the recall with the appropriate level in the specified recall order. Section 432, initiating emergency recall order. Initiating the emergency recall order, Office of Authority shall substitute the PHMSA Officer of Chief of Counsel referral memo and sample order. The following determinations may justify the initiation of emergency recall order: the packaging component, container constituting of the imminent hazard, the responsibility party that has designed with the voluntary recall. Section 433, documented information to be concerned with the authorization official of the agent should document the written information form and established by the Office of Authority. The agent objective responsibility will believe why he or she believes the packaging component containing the constitutes the imminent hazard to be allowed to be used in the transportation evidence facts of the support the agent's behalf of the packaging component and container may impose imminent hazard. When an agent was successfully containing with the manufacturer responsibility of the packaging component containing with the steps taken with the containing of the manufacturer responsibility party, any details, contact the photographs, photocopies may be the best evidence. The agent should attach the photographs similar in advance to the documentation in support of his or her belief. 434, authorizing official, when upon information with the agent concerning with the packaging component containing with the authorizing official believes may pose imminent hazard, the authorizing official will request an issue with the emergency recall order for the performance of Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration. The person shall follow the policies and procedures set for the officer authority, and however the determining whether the imminent hazard exists, the minimum person shall consult the office of the chief counsel, the equivalent legal section, the office of the official, as soon as practicable, shall provide the documentation supplied by the agent, the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration, in the form of the federal referral memo. Section 435, documentation information to be considered by the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration. The Office of Authority should document a referral memo of the agent objective to responsible belief when he or she believes the packaging component contained may constitute imminent hazard if allowed to be used in transportation. The activities prohibited, but the action should be performed the basis of the emergency recall order. The evidence supporting the agent's belief that the packaging component container may pose the imminent hazard. The remedial action in eliminating the abating of the imminent hazard proposed drafting emergency recall order. They see Appendix C. Photographing photocopies may be used to advance the agent and should attach the photograph similar evidence to the referral memo in the support his or her beliefs. In Section 436 of the person authorized to issue the emergency recall order after receiving the request of the authorizing official of the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration Office, the Chief of the Counsel, in consultation with the Office of Authority, designated primary legal point of contact is necessary, reviewing the referral memo and supporting evidence for legal sufficiency. If the request of legal sufficiency emergency recall to mean necessary, Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Agency Office of Chief of Counsel will forward the proposed emergency recall order supporting materials associated administrated with hazard material safety for review of the concerns. Concurrency. review and concurrency. The Associated Administrator has material safety may approve, modify, deny the emergency recall order 437 elements of the emergency recall order, section 12.5 for the required elements attachment for the emergency recall order. Section 438 notification service publication. See section 12.6 for the procedure notification service and publication. Section 439 termination of emergency recall order. Emergency recall order may be terminated with the continue with using the subject packaging component with the container no longer constitute the imminent hazard. Key points: remembering about the termination of emergency recall or include the party responsible for the packaging component, the container, the may requesting termination emergency recall order submitting written request. The emergency recall order may only be terminated through the written order issued by the Associated Administration Hazard Material Safety. Section 439 petition review of the emergency recall order. All petitions review will be governed by the procedures set forth in Title C of 49 CFR 109.19. The Office of Authority designated with the primary legal point of contact shall assist the primary pipeline hazard material safety administration office of chief of counsel and with petition for review of petition request for the formal hearing. Chief of the safety officer signing the petition, officing the hearing of the office of requesting issuance of the emergency recall order will designate the attorney office of the authorization office of the authority, office of the chief of counsel to represent the office of authority, pipeline hazards material safety administration hearing, and the PHMSF office of chief counsel has material safety law division provided one of the attorney assistant in the office of attorney. Part 3, forms and records.